Stop saying that.
I am ready. I'm always ready. I'm telling you that.
Y'all, she is starting off the podcast telling lies. She's not always ready.
I'm ready for the podcast. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for the podcast.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey,
Hey, y'all. Hey. welcome. Welcome to the Love You to Life podcast. We are so excited to have you here, even with all the shenanigans that have begun.
What? What are you talking about? Well, you know what? I'm sure this is, she didn't create this, but my line sister, Nikki, she said, one thing a shenan is going to do is shenan again.
Friends, Romans,
Yeah.
countrymen, lend me your ear. We are talking
Mm.
about something today. Talking about something today that you're going to hear a lot of people talking about in the next 30 days. You're
But
going to hear
not
a
as good
lot
as
of
we're about
people.
to talk about it, though.
No, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about vision boards and New Year's resolutions. And everybody going to put out that stupid cartoon with the girl stepping up on the step from one year to the next. Y'all remember that cartoon? You know
No.
that graphic they share, and it'd be like it's a person a woman walking up the stairs, and it'd be like 2025 to 2026, like stepping into my new destiny. You're gonna hear a lot of people talking about how they're gonna do amazing and wonderful things in 2026, the top of the year, right? Everybody gonna have new year, new goals, new life, new all these things. And most of the people not gonna do much of it.
Period, poo.
But you, you who are listening to the Love Your Life podcast are going to have outrageous expectations for the new year.
Ooh, I love it. Outrageous expectations.
And you're going to have outrageous results on top of it.
That's so
Because
good.
here's the thing.
I felt that in my guts. I felt that.
Here's the thing, y'all. It is time for us to get a little delulu. It's time for us to stop being realistic. It's time for us to stop playing small. It's time for us to stop being the responsible one.
Oh, wow.
It's
Why you
time for us to have some outrageous expectations about our lives and
agreed?
our futures. And this episode today is all about helping you to see why we have decided that outrageous ain't even really big enough. And we're going
Mm,
to go for everything and then some in
mhm,
2026. And we just
mhm.
want to invite y'all to do
To do
the
this,
same. We just want to
join us.
invite
Come
y'all
along,
to do
friend.
it.
Come on, friend. Do it with us. Come
Yeah.
on.
So here's the thing. We recognize that a lot of the people who are listening to our podcast have been women who are just kind of like hold it down women, right? You're the kind of woman who, you're the rule follower, you're the box checker, you're the person that shows up. You probably got too much PTO left. You probably haven't taken near enough vacations. You're the person that people can always count on. And generally, what happens when you're that kind of person is that you are very reasonable and realistic with everything you expect for yourself. So, we want to invite you to stop doing that and to be as extreme as you possibly can about what you expect life to give you, because we actually believe the Bible here on the Love
Oh, my
Podcast.
goodness.
And we actually believe that if God can do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could think or ask, and you just asking him for your light bill, you probably need to ask bigger.
Go bigger.
So, as we talk about some of the things that we are expecting from God this upcoming year, and how we're letting that influence what we do, we want you to do a little bit of the same. So, you know how we do, in the comments, wherever you happen to be listening to or watching this podcast, tell us about what outrageous goal, outrageous expectation you are taking into the new year, and what you're going to do to get it.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, because
Okay.
when we're talking about being outrageous, we're not talking about you not having a part to do with it, a part to play, some responsibility related to it, right? So if there is going to be this outrageous expectation, you need to find out what your role in getting that here is. Um, and I don't know if we've talked about this, but I've really toyed around with calling myself something else besides a Christian because of the way that I have. I have. Because the way that some of these folks been out here representing my God, the one I know, the God that I know, y'all been out here clowning. Y'all been out here not doing Jesus right. Y'all been lying on the Father. Y'all been lying on the Son and the Holy Ghost. So I just want to be on record as saying, like, the God that we're talking about is the one that
Mm,
cares about having food. He is the one that is gracious and kind and merciful. He is the one that will allow judgment for people that are not doing what they supposed to do. He does give a recompense, okay? Um but most of all, he is the one who loves his kids, right?
mm.
And he cares about what we care about and the things that we go through and the things that are important to us. And so I just wanted to add that one little tidbit before we start this conversation because I made a post about it and I told people stop lying on Jesus. Now that
Stop
one didn't go
lying.
on Jesus.
That's the song
Yeah.
she made up, y'all. That's the song she made up.
Stop lying on him. Because I feel like, how people be like, yeah, I know him. Yeah, I know him. And they really don't know that person. You
Mm.
find out when you get to talking to them, they really don't know that person. A lot of people been out here saying they Christians and they know Jesus, and it's not giving Jesus. It's not giving Father, Son, Holy Spirit when y'all is
Mm.
on somebody's neck because they are Hispanic. It's not giving Jesus. It's not. It's not giving Jesus when you can't find formula for a single mother. It's not giving Jesus.
Oh. So what she's
So it's
saying, which we'll get to today, is that your outrageous expectations need to line up with your actions.
period.
Okay. So what we're talking about when we talk about outrageous, as I was thinking about this podcast, one of the things that I remember is my very first 5-figure contract that I got as a consultant. And what was kind of crazy to me is at the time I was working with this organization. What is this thing in my hair? I was working with this organization and it's like a little contract kind of temp position basically. I was building my business, right? But, got to keep the lights on. And so I was working as I was building and I had this idea. I was sitting in a training with them and I was like, they need me, but not for this role that they paying me for.
They better come correct.
I was like, they need something. And at the time, I had not had a 5-figure contract. I had a 4-figure contract, but I had not had a 5-figure contract. And so I pitched the company that was paying me, I think maybe 30 or $40 an hour is what they were paying me at the time. It's a while ago. I'm saying like 30 or $40. They were paying me 30 or $40 an hour. And I pitched them a 5-figure contract. It was outrageous. It was outlandish that
Yep.
like, sent the CEO of the company, like,
Mhm.
"Listen, I know you got me over here in this position, but when I'm not working for you, this is what I do, and this is what you need." And I want you
Right.
to know I got that contract, and that I
Yep.
worked with them for several years. Um Probably over time, it ended up being 6 figures worth of work with that one particular organization, and it was because I had this outrageous belief that if I really believed I could do this, and I knew that there was a need, that I should just ask for it. And so I want to be really clear that the idea was outrageous, but the
Yeah.
action behind it was equally outrageous because how many of y'all have sent a pitch to the email of CEO based upon this idea that you could do this thing? Now, yes, I had done things on a smaller scale before, but what I was getting ready to do for them was a larger scale than what I had done. I was very confident that I could do it because I had done something similar, but the actions had to back up the belief. And so as you're listening to this episode, I want you to be thinking about, like, is it the expectation that you need to enhance, or is it the behavior that you need to enhance, or is it both?
Both.
If it's both, we're gonna talk about both, right? But
Right.
for you personally, I want you to really check yourself. Are you limiting God in what you're asking? If you look at your vision board that you've made the last 5 years in a row, um, are there things on there that have continued to be on there? Are you putting a picture on your vision board of somebody who is slim and trim and you steady going through the drive-through? Are you talking about being on a TEDx stage on your vision board, but you ain't never speaking to nobody? You haven't put out the first pitch. You haven't submitted the first RFP. Like,
What? You just you choosing violence right out the gate? I mean,
I'm just saying. Here's the thing. Here's what I really honestly God feel. It is time out for those of us who have played it safe to keep playing it safe. I cannot tell you.
agreed.
Okay. I'm gonna climb up on my soapbox for just a minute.
And I'm here for it. Go.
It is infuriating to me that as Black women have become the highest, fastest growing rate of people pursuing higher education degrees, master's degrees, doctorate degrees, that as we have aspired to these high level positions in the federal government, all of these things are suddenly now a problem. They're all
Mm,
signaling waste, fraud, and abuse. We need to make
mm.
it so that people can no longer be considered professional if they're a social worker or a therapist or a psychiatric nurse practitioner. Since when? Oh, because there's too many of us following the rules set by somebody else, aspiring, doing the work, checking the boxes, doing the thesis, doing the research. We did all the things. And then they
All the
said, goalpost moved.
always
So
moving the goalpost.
rather than playing by their rules, I want you to get outrageous. I want you to get outrageous with what you say you want, and I want you to go for it in an outrageous way.
I think what we're talking about is, are you willing to bet on you? Are you willing to bet on you? You got the resume. Go read your own resume. You got the resume. And when I say resume, I'm just talking about your whole record of life. It doesn't only have
Right.
to be about your career. I'm saying when you read up on who you are, what you've been through, what you've done, what your experience is, you are ready. You are ready. But the question is, are you going to continue to keep holding yourself back? Or can you go ahead and come on? So I know some of my former clients listen to this. And so one of them, I said this to her and she just was like, whoa. But I just was like, come forth, ma'am. Come
Mm.
forth right now, immediately. Come forth today, right now. Stop playing small. And here's what I want to offer you. Now I'm going to go. Can I get on a soapbox? Permission to get on a
Soapbox,
soapbox? Okay.
soapbox open.
On my soapbox, here's what I want to say. Listen, guys, in the world that we are living in the condition of our world, people are waiting on you. Like
Woo!
this is no longer something that you can just pity pat around with. See, my playmate with your future. That's not what we're doing anymore. What we're talking about is that your gift, the Bible says your gift will make room for you. It also says it'll put you in front of kings. It says it'll put you in positions and places that are outrageous
Mhm.
experiences for you. And it is time for you to stop playing because your gift is somebody else's, like, it's their
Lifeline.
lifeline. We said the same word. It's their
Woo! Confirmation.
we said the same word. It
Confirmation.
is their lifeline. Your gift is somebody's lifeline. Listen, what would have happened if I would have kept saying, "Oh, Liz, you can't open up your own private practice and be a counselor, and you can't do that." In the last 15 years, Cal, how many sessions have we had? How
I
many
mean,
sessions?
we're probably coming up on 30,000, but it's over 20 for
30,000
sure.
sessions with people. Let me tell you something. And here's the way I look at every single session. Every single session is my opportunity to help somebody go out and have a better life than they had before they walked through the door. Every
Period.
single time. So every single person that works at my office, that's what we get to do. We get to help a person have a better life every single time they come in the door. When they walk back out, they get to go out and do something differently. They get to go out and be closer to healing. They get to go out and have a different future. They get to go out and have better relationships. And so what would have happened if I would have said, little old me from South Bend, Indiana?
That's outrageous. I can't do that.
And here's the thing about it. One of the things that people say when they look at me and they look at you, Cal, too, I think a lot of times people think that we don't ever have second thoughts, that we don't ever be like, are you for real though? Are you serious? Really do this? Are you sure about that? No, that happens to us because we are human. As long as I can tell, it's a vein right here that
Mm,
got the same blood
mm.
in it that you got. Some skin right here. My daughter pulls on my skin all the time. Some skin right here. Yeah, we're flesh and blood just like you. But what we do differently sometimes than some other people is we will do the work
Mhm.
to to position ourselves to make the outrageous moves for outrageous results. And I happen to think it's an outrageous result that predominantly African American people have had a practice within their own community for 15 years where they can walk in and see therapists that look like them and understand them and their culture and walk back out on the other side having shared their experiences and their lives with someone who literally cares and got the clinical experience and training to be able to help them to go live a life that's good for them on the other side.
Outrageous.
So you can't keep playing pity pat. You can't keep playing pity pat. See my play.
And I don't wanna be rude, but I almost think that it's ungodly if you don't.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just here to say this. If
Oh
you
my
think
god.
about who was it? Was it who had to come before the king for the people? Was that Esther? Who was that?
Esther. Esther
If you
did.
were supposed to be having an Esther moment, why are you sitting in the back of the office pretending like you can't open your mouth?
Oh my
Why are you
gosh.
doing that?
I don't
Stop
know why.
it. It's
I don't
not
know why.
God. It's not
I don't
God.
know why.
God don't like it.
I think some of us are just so comfortable. Would that be it? That we're in our comfort zone? That we're in our comfort zone, we don't want to rock the boat. So we
I
just go
think
with it.
here's the thing. I think that there's 2 things, right? When we talk about not being outrageous, so let's talk about that for a second. When we talk about not being outrageous, part of why you are not outrageous is you're being reasonable, right? You're being realistic. You're being responsible, right? And sometimes we're doing that. We're doing that because it feels safe, but also because it feels like what other people are expecting of us, right?
Right.
You're
Yeah.
expecting me to just show up and do my job. Like, I think
Yeah.
about this sometimes when you like, if you be in a situation where somebody will say a joke, right? And the joke is like, you know, um, racist, homophobic, misogynistic, like, and they expect that you'll just laugh. The
Yeah.
expectation is like,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you know what I do? Dead face.
And
Or
she would do
what? I'm sorry, I must not have got that. What's funny? What was funny about that?
and embarrass you
No,
for
Imma
being
make
in
you
this space and
say
acting up.
Imma make you say what part of that you think is funny. Imma make you say it, right? I'm not gonna say it. Imma read you without the words, okay?
Mm.
So here's the thing, when you have been conditioned to meet other people's realistic expectations, you stop having outrageous expectations for yourself. But
Right.
I believe that 2026 is a year for us to be outrageous about what we believe God has in store for us and be outrageous about how we pursue it.
Right.
It is no longer a time where you can make these reasonable, realistic goals that are really based more about your past, your history, than your actually purpose and your capacity.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What you and here's the thing. I'm not gonna pull out my vision book for y'all, but here's what I
What?
would tell y'all.
I didn't bring
Sometimes
mine. You didn't tell me to bring mine.
I just well, I'm in my office, so I have it. But sometimes I'll look at my old vision boards before I made a vision book and my old vision book pages, and sometimes I'll be, like, shocked that I've, like, checking boxes, like, "Oh, I done did that, I done did that,
I
I done did that."
know. I did that last week.
But
Yes.
other times I'll look at it and be like, "Ooh, time for that picture needs to be replaced.
Right.
It's not big enough.
Right.
It's not big enough. That
Right.
picture needs to be replaced. I need to level that picture up." Because if you're not being intentional with consistently having greater expectations for God, you
Mhm.
might be playing like, "I don't want you to have that stupid car. You've been asking me for a new car, but that wasn't the car I wanted for you no way.
Oh, wow.
You trying to figure out why you can't get approved for that little stupid car. He didn't want you to have that car."
Oh, wow. Why are you making it? I need y'all to watch this on YouTube because the faces that she's making today, I mean, I'm here for all the faces today. I am. She's clowning. She's clowning. I need y'all to watch this on YouTube. Y'all know the podcast is up every other week on YouTube. The off week is on YouTube. Please go back and watch this because that was outrageous.
And here's the thing. The other thing is when you're being, and I'm saying this as somebody who has been 10 toes down responsible, right?
Oh
But
gosh. Okay.
responsible women always, and I'm not
Always
saying
and absolutely.
sometimes.
You say
This is
always?
an
Always is
absolute.
absolute. Okay, let me hear it.
Responsible women always under ask and over deliver.
I mean, I really can't take issue with it. Cause I've been there. So I really can't take issue with it because I've done that. I have done that. So I've done that. And once again, I want us to repeat right here on this podcast. The things that we are telling you are because we've already what? Lived it. What there been there, done that, got the t-shirt. We've already done that. Okay? So we're not telling you anything that we do not hold ourselves accountable for. And we're not telling you anything that we have not already lived through or are currently going through or any all of that. We're just telling you the truth. It is time for us to ask for what we deserve, ask for what is of the caliber of the people that we are. Period.
Period.
Period, boo. Here's what I want you to think about. One of the things that I love about being a mom, and it's shown up in my life in other ways too. You know, we were foster parents for years, and I have a bunch of nieces and nephews, and in many roles, I've been a mother in many roles before I was a true a physical mom, biological mom. And so, um, one of the things I love is the way that I set things up for my baby. Before
Mm.
I get her up in the morning, I lay if I haven't done it at night, I lay her clothes out, her undershirt, her socks, her barrettes, because when she's there, I know she don't really like when she first wake up, she's not really down for it. She don't really want to get dressed like that in the morning. I mean, so I'm trying to make it smooth for her. I'm trying to make it easy for her, right? And so I'll put all that stuff out. I warm up, I push the button to warm up her baby wipes before she gets up. I make sure her bottle is ready. So by the time I get her dressed and do her hair and I wiped her down with her warm wipes and everything, and then we sit down in the chair and she looking at me, I'd be like, baby, there go your bottle, my girl. There go your bottle, boo-boo. Right? What I've learned about that is that the same thing God does.
Oh.
But better. God does it, but better. Right? Because the Bible said that if your earthly father, who is quote unquote, I think the King James version will say evil. I don't know what other versions will say, but it just means like not God, right? Your earthly father can look out for you. What more your heavenly father? That's what the scripture said. So as your earthly mama, I am trying to line up everything for you so that you can be successful and you can have the day that I really want you to have. And you just have to receive that. And so many times we're not putting ourselves in the position to receive it. When
You know,
he lining it up for us. If I got enough sense to try to make my baby comfortable so that she can enjoy her day, what you think God doing for us?
here's the thing. I need to pause here because one of my former coaches that I work with, one of the things that she made me do, and I'm saying made,
Mm.
one of the things that she had me do as an exercise was to practice receiving.
And you wasn't good at it.
It took listen, when I'm telling you guys, part of the outrageous expectation piece is you have to condition yourself to receive. I don't remember how many things it was exactly, but she's like, you got to receive 5 things a day or something like that. Like, and so in order to receive, you have to go out with the what? Expectation. And when you see something that you want, you have to ask for it. And it was not something I had the muscle memory for. I mean, something as simple as so my brother-in-law, who we call the patriarch of the household, he will pretty much do within reason anything,
For his
anything
Mhm.
that anybody in the family, but like specifically my kids, if my kids were asking anything,
This man done
it's,
rode in little kitty trains, all the things.
if it's anything on earth that
Mhm.
they want,
Mhm.
he's gonna do it. If
Mhm.
I ask him for something, he's
Mhm.
gonna do it. But
Mhm.
I wasn't asking. So something
Mhm.
as simple as like, could you pick up the kids from school? I would race around town, anything. And he might be like, you're gonna just ask. But I would not put myself in a position to receive. So something that simple, like the practice that my coach gave me, I had to start doing that. And
Mhm.
it has enlarged my capacity to
To
receive.
receive. Love it.
If you don't put yourself in a position to have outrageous expectations, your
Yeah.
capacity to receive is limited. If God wants to give you everything, how you going to get it, sis?
And here's the thing, I think for many of us, we don't wanna take up space. We haven't
Mm,
wanted to be a bother. We haven't wanted to be an inconvenience. We haven't wanted to be what considered like maybe even a distraction.
yes.
So sometimes we won't even receive like little things like somebody opening the door for us or
Oh my
somebody
God.
helping us to carry a bag or somebody being willing to I mean just like the smallest little things. Some of
A
us are like
compliment. Some of y'all can't take a compliment.
a compliment. A compliment. And so if you can't receive a compliment, if you can't receive somebody opening your door, if you can't receive somebody helping you carry a bag, how are you supposed to receive the outrageous, outlandish things that God really wants you to have on this side of heaven, on this side of glory? How? And here's the thing. I'm telling y'all about it because I'm raising my hand to say I've done it. Like there are some times when I know somebody might have said, "Oh, can I help you with such and such?" And I was like, "No," and or I got it. It's okay, thank you. I got it for no good reason. Did I say I got it? I had no good reason to say I got it. And here's the thing. It wasn't like it was something that might have been so super obvious. It was just
Right.
a little extra help. It was just
Right.
a little something, and I still would turn it down because my set point was that I did not want to be an inconvenience. I didn't want to take up space. I don't want to be a bother. I listen, I'm just here to serve, be seen and not heard or whatever. And that's the way it went. And that's just the way that it went.
I was at Kirkland this week and I was buying a picture that I'm gonna hang in my office. And I'm balancing this oddly shaped picture on this cart and I'm pushing it around the store. And I don't know why. It didn't even like I didn't stop and think like, "Oh, just take it up to the register." Like I just didn't even stop and think about it. The girl came from the back and she's like, "Can I take that to the register for you?" 5 years ago, I'd been like, "Oh, I got it." I was like, "Yes,
Period.
thank you.
Right. Yes,
Thanks
it
so
is.
much."
Yes, it is. It is receiving the little so that you can receive the big. Because
Yes.
the little is what actually shows up. Okay. Yeah, we got to talk brain science here, Couch, for just a little bit.
Okay.
So the little is what shows up every single day. And so you have more opportunities for your brain to be wired regarding this by how you interact with that little
Right.
before the big ever shows up. So if the little shows up every single day and you keep turning down the little, there's no room for the big because that neural pathway in your brain is not ready for the big because you never really developed it on the little. So every single time you say, yes, I will receive help, I will receive support, I will receive love, I will receive acceptance. Every single time you do that on the little, you're wiring your brain in that direction so that when it comes in bigger, you can receive more. But if every time you turn it down, then you're not going to be able to see when it shows up so that you can receive the big. I was at the store years ago with one of my line sisters, and she and a guy was kind of looking at her that I thought was kind of interested in her, and I was like, "Why you didn't give him no play? Like, I mean, like you can't give him like a little bat of the eyes. I mean, a little something. I'm married, so he's looking at you." And so she was like, "I didn't even see it. I didn't even notice. I know you didn't notice. I know you didn't notice because you're not expecting it." Because you have not wired yourself for that. When I go out, I know that happens. I expect it. Now, when I'm married, I look down at the ground a lot more often than I do when I'm laying up because I'm unflirtable. I don't flirt. I'm married. I flirt with my husband. That's it. I'm unflirtable. Okay. But for her, she's single. She said she want to get married. And I'm like, you walking around saying you want to get married and you ain't making no eye contact with nary a man? Not now one? That's not how you
How
do.
you gonna find him, sis? Is he
You're
coming to
not
the
gonna
door?
because you're not gonna know when he's even saying anything to you. He gotta run you down and partner knock you over to say
Mm,
hello because you won't even make eye contact. So your brain is designed to help you. When you show your brain something, your brain says, "Oh, you want us to pay attention to this? This is how you want us to respond to this?"
right,
And so you have to make a practice of responding appropriately to
right,
let your brain know what messages and experiences do you want it to keep showing you so that it can.
right.
That's why many of us are wired to only see the negative and we don't see the positive
Mm,
because we don't feed our brain positive experiences and reinforce positive experiences for our brains. The reticular activating system, the amygdala. Y'all do y'all's research on that a little bit so you can understand the science behind it. And we'll keep talking about it. But just the shortfall of it is You teach your brain to show you what you want. And every time you receive and you respond appropriately to receiving that thing that you want, you are making more space and increasing your capacity to receive.
Period. What we're talking about with this outrageous expectation. And guys, this might be a monetary thing, it might be a relationship thing, it might be a physical health thing, it might be a employment thing, it might be a business thing. It doesn't matter. I want you to have outrageous expectations about every single thing in your life. What we're talking about is an identity shift, right?
Period.
I want you to have the identity of a person who has outrageous expectations. And I'm going to use the example of the person I know in my life who lives in the land of outrageous
This is
expectation.
her daughter. It's her daughter. Is that are we finna talk about your daughter?
My youngest daughter.
Her
This
daughter.
child, my God, she
Her
came
daughter.
out the womb with outrageous expectations,
And
okay?
did.
And there's so in life, there's not one single thing that she wants that she doesn't believe she can have. Not one.
Nope.
It
Mm-mm.
doesn't ma she I don't know where it has come from, but there's not one single thing in her life that she doesn't believe that she could actually have, that
Mhm.
she deserves, that she's
Mhm.
worthy of,
Mhm.
that is accessible to her with nan degree. I mean, no matter what's in her bank account at any moment, she believes that it
She's only in
is.
high school, y'all. She's only in high
She's in
school.
high
She's
school.
only in high school now.
But she had this expectation when she was 5.
3.
This is and here's the thing, that expectation has shown up for her in so many different ways in her life
It's
that it's
beautiful.
just like organic for her now. And I, as a mom who has been super, super realistic, have checked myself in so many instances to make sure that I don't accidentally squeeze that out of her because I want her to be a person who's willing to work. And so that's like a tandem conversation. It's not an either or, it's a with, right? But it's so real. Like, so she would go to, and this happened where she's be with auntie, uncle, mama, dad, doesn't matter who she's with. She'll go to the
Mhm.
store and, be walking through the dollar store and somebody be like, oh, she's so cute. Oh, what you got in that basket? Let me pay for that basket. People just
Sure
pay for it.
will. Sure will.
Back in the day, money was super tight. I would go to yard sales and that's where they would get their clothes. I would start at the yard sales, the Goodwill, I would only patch in with what I could, get from the store after that. So my older kids would be like, I ain't got no money, I ain't going because she ain't gonna buy nothing. That's not exactly what we need. I'm not going. Not her. She'd be like, oh, you're going? I want to go too. Because her expectation was, I'm gonna go out here and whether mom gives it to me or somebody else gives it to me,
Get
I'm
it.
coming home. Look, like this I said, I'm coming home with something. Right. And so and up to and including y'all, we would go to I remember we went to a yard sale one time. And I'm like, listen, we're going up here. We're just looking for clothes. We're the house or whatever else we're looking for at the time. She's like, okay, mom, she's not going to argue with me about it. Right. We walk up there and she's looking around and I was like, no, I'm not getting that. No, nothing here. Right. We start walking back to the car. $5. She found it on the ground.
Sure did.
Went right back there, bought whatever she wanted. Right.
Yeah.
Because her expectation is God is going to show up some type of way in this situation. I don't know how it's working out for my good, but some type of way it's working out for my good. So she come on back home. The kid's like, "What? Your mom bought you that? No." Because again, and here's the outrageous piece.
What?
She doesn't care who it's coming from. She don't
No.
know. Because some of
No.
y'all, oop, this for somebody. Doop, doop, doop. Some of y'all have decided it can only come one way.
Oh,
You
Lord
have
have
decided it can
mercy.
only
My.
come from one person. You have decided it can
Oh.
only come from one situation, one opportunity.
Oh.
But the truth
Mm.
is, God want to give it to you a totally different way.
You don't have no way of knowing. You have no way of knowing how it's going to come, and it's not your job to figure that out. It is your job to put yourself in position to receive the end.
That's it. That part.
That's all.
Which makes it so much easier when you think about it, right? So if I think about, hey, I am just creating an identity where I go into the world and I expect good things to happen. I
Mhm.
expect that there's gonna be a parking space for me. I expect that
Right.
somebody's gonna open the door for me. I expect that that client that I wanna sign with me is gonna sign, or there's gonna be somebody better right behind him. I expect that I'm gonna get this job, or I'm gonna get a better job, or the money's gonna come from somewhere else. I expect that if I ask God and I believe that God says I can have it, and I put myself in a position to be able to receive. I keep my eyes open, my ears open. I'm
Right.
not hiding from opportunity, that it's gonna come. That identity of that person, what does that person really look like? Is that person in her apartment every night? Or does that person occasionally go have dinner at the restaurant?
I mean, come on now. Can that person go ahead and get her nails done with nowhere to go? Can that, without having to have some sort of obligation to attend? Can that person just show up happy in her skin, expecting that things work out well for her? And here's the thing, one of the other things about your daughter that I would love to include in this is that that baby's always been a joyful kid, like a
Mhm.
grateful,
Very
joyful kid.
grateful. Very
Just
grateful.
always and I think that that is also a part of it, so that it did not even have to be the big things that she was happy or grateful. Like, was it I gave her a Barbie dream house.
Probably.
I think it was a Barbie dream house when she was, like, 4 or 5, and when I say she literally jumped for, like, 3 minutes. She literally jumped up and down around the Barbie dream house for, like, 3 minutes. And I have not seen a kid. I've got a lot of nieces and nephews. I really haven't seen a kid that excited about something that was a gift for them. But when I say grateful, she did that Christmas over 2 or 3 different things. Like, immensely grateful about whatever it was that was coming to her that was her heart's delight. And I have to ask us as adults, do we know how to show up that way? Do
Mm.
we know how to be grateful when the thing actually does show up? Because I think that puts us in position to keep receiving.
Right.
That gratitude is huge. That
Right.
gratitude piece is a big part of it. But that part of her was like, she just just happy. Like happy, cheerful, joyful, and expectant. And I
Right.
think that that goes along with an outrageous expectation that we're asking you to have.
Right. And as you are being as outrageous as possible, right? You're taking the actions that put you in position to receive, right? You're shifting not only your brain to be more aware and open, right?
Yeah.
I want you to understand that the shift happens even before you see the reality.
Right.
So it's happening in like, the same way we can believe that once I say that Jesus Christ is Lord of the world, that I'm saved, the same way we can believe that. And in that instant we are saved. The second you start to shift your identity, you become a person who is capable of receiving outrageous things, right?
Mhm,
Instead,
mhm.
what we have a tendency to do is negotiate for limitations, right? To play small, to tolerate, to look at the 3D world or what exactly we see, in our bank account. And I'm not, and guys, and when we're talking about outrageous, I'm not telling you to go out here and put a bunch of stuff on your credit card that you can't afford. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking
No.
about putting yourself in a position to where the thing that you believe will come into your life. When we talk about things like manifestation, people sometimes hate that term, but I use it. And I use it because the Bible does, first of all.
I mean, it's gotta show up, so showing up is manifestation.
Right? When
What
we talk about outrageous expectations, what we're really talking about from a spiritual perspective is faith. It's just that simple. If outrageous feels hard for you, talk about faith, right? Y'all love to talk about faith. Y'all sing about it every Sunday. But
Oh.
do you really have it?
I
If the Bible
don't know.
says it's outrageous, if it is impossible to please God without faith, and you are sitting up here expecting that you got to go to work 7 jobs
Oh my
in order
goodness
to pay
gracious.
your bills,
Not 7 jobs.
can you expect that God will give you an idea that might make it so that maybe you only need 6? I don't know. But I'm just saying,
Right,
like, the expectation piece is we live in a world right now where they are trying to scare us all the time between
right.
the news and the different, pundits or what have you. It's very easy to feel small and scared and uncomfortable. And I better just play it safe. But the truth is, I want you to get outrageous because just as much as there are people who struggle in these periods of time, there are people who look at the opportunity and they make a couple of moves, and on the other side it's a completely different world for them. So
Right.
keep your eyes fixed on the expectation that God of what God has for you and not on your reality, right? And then take the steps towards that expectation. That's really what we're talking about, right? So your
Right.
belief might not match your life yet. That word
Right.
is very, very important, but the
Mhm.
belief is what makes that your reality over
Right.
time.
Because faith is now. Faith is right now, and so what we're talking about is behaving is taking the steps to behave like that future self right now
Right.
in little bitty ways, and as you do that, that future self will actually just become you. You'll just become that person, who's living that life. And I think one of the big things about an outrageous expectation is that you have to, in some ways, release your perceived control about the
Mm.
like, so many of us are gonna we're gonna miss our opportunity to be outrageous in our belief because it has to come the way that we think. It has to come through
Right.
it has to come through my job, or it has to come through this person, or through this experience, and that is not all the way that's not always the truth.
Right.
So, it's like it is being able to ask big and letting the rest of it go outside of, "Hey, is there anything I can do to put myself in position for this to happen?"
Perfect segue. So as we talk about how you put yourself in position to live a life of outrageous expectations, the first thing I want you to do is choose that future identity. Okay.
Right.
So many of us have been putting the magazine pictures on the vision board for year after year after year. But we're not talking about a specific task. We're not even really talking about a goal. We're talking about who is the person that has this experience, right? What does this look like, feel like, smell like, taste like? What is she thinking? What is she doing? What is she saying? Where is she going? Who is that version of you? And what does that life look like? You have to be so crystal clear about I am expecting to become this version of me that when that version happens, it just feels like, oh, deja vu. I knew this was coming. As opposed to, ooh, I'm scared. What do I need to do now?
Right.
Because remember, your brain's job is to keep you safe, not happy, not fulfilled, not loving your life, not loving the person you with. Your brain's job is to keep you safe. So safe equals same to your brain. Different equals danger to your brain. So when you create an identity for yourself, I mean, give yourself some time to daydream. Imagine, right? When you've done that, your brain is now like, oh, that's nice. Then the next time that man gives you that little wink, it feels natural or expected or normal, as opposed to, ooh, what am I gonna do with that? So create an identity for yourself that really is based upon who you're becoming and not who you've always been.
I think that is a huge point because when we're talking about in our culture especially, w the 92 percenters, these high achieving Black women, we have not allowed ourselves to even shape our own identities in many cases. So some of us don't really know who we are. We're living somebody else's dream right now, and we haven't really decided whether or not we're gonna live our own. We know
Mhm.
that mom and daddy wanted us to go to college. We know that they wanted us to get a degree or to live in this house or to do whatever that thing is that we're doing, but we don't really know at this moment in time for ourselves, who am I? What do I want? What is really important to me? What helps me feel fulfilled? When do I feel like I am in my zone of genius?
Mhm.
Right? When I'm in my superpower, and that does take some time, and that's how you position yourself to receive. You get clear about that, and you start to take the actions and line that up so that you will be able to become that person. But some of us don't know. We just walking around living somebody else's dream. We just walking around doing what everybody else told us to do. And
Ooh.
that's why we don't have it. That's why we don't have it.
No living other people's dreams.
Right. Yeah. And so, it's time for us to go from vision boarding to vision living.
Mm.
It's time for us to go from vision boarding to vision living. Many of us are going to go and make a vision board. We're going to put it in the corner. It's going to be in the corner by March. It's going to be collecting
Dusty.
dust. Your vision board is outdated. Your vision board still got some culottes on it. Your vision board, I mean, look,
Oh,
they said skinny jeans was out. Your vision board still got skinny jeans on it. Go ahead and do something else. Go ahead and ask yourself some questions about what you want. And we're not suggesting that you have to just tear your life up. Nobody is saying that this is something that doesn't make sense. We're saying it actually does make sense because
right.
of who you are and what you've done and what you're capable of doing moving forward. But we can't live it for you. You got to decide to live it yourself.
Period.
Yeah, and one of the things about this outrageous expectation that I love is that I have room in my life to pay attention to where I'm at in the present moment and to also cast my vision for the
Yes.
future. And so it doesn't mean that I am so future focused that I mess up in this moment. It just means that I'm holding space for that future self too. And I'm open to the fact that that future self will be showing up for me as I just keep going along cuz time is going to keep passing no matter what. Time is going
Right.
to keep going, right? So we just got to decide what do we want to have and put ourselves in the way to go ahead and go get it.
Right. And one of the ways I think that you do that is like the next step is you kind of look for the evidence in your present life of the
Mhm.
future life, right? So
Mhm.
maybe you really want to have a successful business, right? You want this business to be making, six figures, multiple six figures. So every single time somebody reaches out to you about your business, every single time you get a positive response to a previous client, that is evidence in your present reality that your future is coming. One of the things that I always encourage my clients to do. If you want more clients, I want you working on your business. Every slot on your calendar that you want full, during that time, you need to be serving your client. Now, maybe you don't have a client paying you for one-on-one time, but you're recording a video for that client. You're writing a blog post for that client. You're talking to somebody who might know of that client. But the idea is I am saying to my present self, I serve my clients well
Right.
meet their needs, I meet their expectations, they get benefits from what I am showing up and serving. And
Yeah.
so in this present reality, that's me promoting my business. But in the
Mhm.
future reality is me getting paid in my business. But I'm
Right.
conditioning my body and my mind and my use of my time and my resources to create that thing that is coming, as opposed to where are the clients at? Why aren't they finding me? No.
Mhm.
So I need
Mhm.
to look in the present reality. And if we're talking about something like a relationship, maybe you don't have a romantic relationship right now, but where are you loved? Who cares about you? Who's
Right.
checking on you? Maybe you don't have the love of your life yet, but that sister friend calls and checks on you every week and you act like it doesn't even matter.
Mm. Have mercy, God. Because here's
Maybe
the
you
thing. Oh, go ahead.
I think you did the same thing. We talked about this earlier this week,
What?
like what you did
What?
with Rocky Poo.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to have the experience of caregiving in that capacity. And no, it's not exactly the same, but I mean, the way we love on that dog, I mean, it's very similar the way we do
They
something
may
crazy.
not know what we talking about. I think I shared I don't know where I shared it. I don't know. It might have been on social media. But I was just talking about like before I became a mom, we got a dog. And I was going through the motions of that caregiving to a small being that was my full and complete responsibility day in and day out before I got pregnant. And
Right.
then the next time I went and did IVF, I got pregnant that time. So, but that dog, like we took that dog in at 8 weeks, right? So I rocked him.
Well,
He was up around the clock. Anybody who's had a puppy understands the role of caring for a puppy. And so I do that a lot. I'm always looking for like, how can I embody this
right.
experience that I want to have? How can I wear this experience? How can I put it on and wear the experience that I want to have? Now, this one I don't think I've shared before on the podcast, but I'm going to make a post about it. And so I'm going to share with y'all first. Let me tell you something. Before I got pregnant, I went to motherhood maternity and I took pictures of myself with the baby belly on. I asked my husband, I said, babe, it's been so long. It's been so long. I don't know if I can see it anymore. So I need
Mm,
to see it. Like I didn't think I could see it in my head anymore. So I needed to see a picture of it so I could get it back in my head. And
right.
so I went to motherhood maternity. I went to picked up a sweater or something that I was like, okay, I probably wear this sweater. And I got that belly in that dressing room. I put that belly on, put that sweater on, and had my husband take my picture and added that to my vision book. And I was able to see myself being pregnant to get the visual of it back in my mind so that it could be produced. And Imma give y'all, cause see, some of y'all gonna be like, "Whoa, that is crazy. What do you mean? How could?" Let me tell you,
Outrageous. It's outrageous.
outrageous. It's outrageous belief. But here's what happened. Like, I can give y'all a scripture reference for it so that you can see what I was doing. Okay, but I get tangled up on who did it. I don't think it was David, but somebody in the scripture, um there was a situation where somebody wanted a wife, and there was an arrangement with the father about getting the daughter, and they were supposed to get a certain amount of, like, of the herd. Okay,
Mhm.
so he said, if you can have all the speckled sheep out of this herd, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep the non-speckled sheep, right? And so the person, if it was a supplanter, that had to be, what is the name? Is the name Jacob? It had to be Jacob, because Jacob means like
Sounds
trickster.
familiar, but we'll look it up.
Okay. So Jacob was supposed to leave and get part of this herd from, I think, his father-in-law. And the father-in-law said, "You can have all the speckled of this herd." I think it was sheep. Okay. So Jacob painted some spots on something. And every single day when those sheep went to get water, as they were getting the water, they kept seeing this spotted thing. So that
Mhm.
as the baby started to come out of the sheep, those new babies had spots on them. Because
Mm.
what they saw every single day, they became. I'm gonna have to get the whole story for y'all, but I know it's gotta be Jacob. I think Jacob was, Jacob had Leah and Rachel and all that. But here's the basis of the story. Jacob put something in front of the sheep's eyes that they would see every day that would cause them to produce a particular thing that he wanted them to produce, because he wanted to have his half of the herd. So
Right.
he put this speckled stuff in front of these sheep. And because the sheep, I think it's sheep, spent so much time at this watering hole getting water, they saw this all the time.
Right.
Because they saw this all the time, they started producing. When they had kids, they kids came out with the speckled sheep. And so that all became his herd. What I'm telling you is that you got to see yourself being and doing and living what you want before it shows up. And sometimes that means you go to motherhood maternity, put on a belly, and take your own picture.
Period. It might mean, and I'm tell you what I've done. I've walked through a model home. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the first pre-approval letter. Didn't have
Mm-hmm.
the money in the bank to get even the earnest money down. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking through and I'm saying, "You know what? I can see myself here." And I
Mm-hmm.
took the pictures and I have pictures of my children in these houses, right?
Mhm,
And it
mhm.
might be the same thing for you. What was it? Jim Carrey wrote that check to himself
He
and he looked
did, Jim
at
Carrey
different
did.
at himself, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe you don't want no speckled cows, right? Whatever the case may be, I want you to decide, what would it
Mhm.
look like for me to live as if I had this thing, right? What is
Yes,
my identity? What are the practice? And here's the thing. Once you do that, the action steps that come behind it, that is when those are inspired actions.
right.
Suddenly you'll have this idea to call this person you used to work with. Suddenly
Mm,
you'll have this idea for a blog post. Suddenly
mm,
you'll have this idea and you'll be like, where did that even come from? And
mm.
if you follow that, that is where confidence comes from.
Right,
So outrageous expectations
right.
creates your identity. Your
Mhm,
identity, and then you have these behaviors that come behind it. Then you feel
mm.
more confident, and then you start to see the reality. People want the vision, but they don't understand how to get from the vision to the reality, which is why you keep making the same boards year and year and year after year.
Please stop it. We are not anti-vision board, and we actually use vision books, and maybe one day we'll have a master class or something to teach you about our vision books. But let me tell you something. Please stop making them boards that y'all don't have no connection with. Please stop. If y'all just want to cut and paste pictures, then just go ahead and do that. But your vision board has to have some action steps
Right,
associated with it. It has to be inspired.
right.
And it has to be something that you really want to connect with. It's not just a rote something that you're doing because you just do it every year, or I hope it wouldn't be. I want you to actually accomplish what's on there because your purpose in making the board was saying that you wanted that life.
And
So
here's
if
the
you
thing, y'all. Some of y'all not getting y'all vision board because it's boring and that's y'all don't even really want it.
you're not inspired, it's nothing worth
Not inspired by it.
I got to say this. I got to say it. I got to say
Oh.
I got to say this. if someone had a significant medical crisis, we would understand telling them to fight for their life. We're like, they're in the fight of their life. We want them to exhaust all measures so that they can continue living. And I'm telling you that some of y'all need to do that without no medical crisis. Y'all
Mm,
need to do that right now. Fight for your life just because your life is important enough to fight for. Fight for
mhm,
your dream because it is the dream God really wants you to live. And I'm telling you to fight for it like your life depends on it because it does.
right.
Go ahead and get it. Go ahead and do it. Some of y'all are not going and one other thing that has to be said.
It's lots of things
Just
that have to
because
be
you
said.
are a parent, what?
It's lots of
What
things
you
that
say?
have to be said today.
We're about to end this podcast, end this episode. We're about to end this episode. We're about to end this episode. Because look, I got one more thing that has to be said. One more. Here it is. Just because you are a parent does not mean you're no longer a person.
Ooh.
Ain't you glad I did that? I had to say it. Aren't you glad I did that now? Aren't you glad I said that? Just because you are a parent does not mean you're no longer a person. Some of y'all decided you was going to stop living and turn everything over into just being a parent because you had a child. Stop it. Stop with the lies. And I'm going to tell you why that is the wrong way to go. Here's why. Because your kids are watching you. You are showing them how to be adults. You are showing them how to be people.
Right.
So if you don't take care of you, don't expect them to take care of you. Of themselves. If you don't look out for you, don't expect them to look out for themselves because you are showing them how to do that. The primary role model for a kid is the same sex parent. So, women, as you are walking around being moms and you're not going to take care of your hair, your nails, your body, you're not going to make sure you're getting your checkups, you're not going to make sure you have some fun, you're not going to make sure you have a good relationship, don't expect your daughter to do it. Don't be looking at her
Mm,
crazy when she run out there and do some stuff you don't like because you are showing her how to be a woman. So just because you are a parent does not mean you're not a person. You are still a person. You are still important. You still have your own dreams, your own destiny, your own purpose. And God, the one I serve, the God that I know, he still wants you to have it. Now I'm done now. I don't have nothing else to say.
oh. Well, it needed to be said, and
Mm-hmm.
you said it. So, yeah, I really want you when we say that we want you to have outrageous expectation, we're not just talking about we want you to make more money or any of these things. We really are talking about we love y'all to life and we want you to have a life and that more abundantly. So here's your assignment.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. So I want you to write down 3 things that feel outrageous for you today. 3 things that you really want to be, do, have, accomplish, experience, right? And if you feel so bold, I want you to do it every day. But I want you to do it today. I want it to be 3. And I want you, it needs to be something that's just outside of your comfort level today. Okay. But here's what I want you to do with those 3 things. I want you to pick one thing from those 3 things that you're going to walk towards today and decide what that would look like. So maybe maybe one of your things is that you want to, drop 50 pounds, right? So I want you to say, today I'm drinking more water because I'm not going to drink this full sugar soda, right? Or maybe I'm going to walk around the block today as far as I can get, right? I want you to make a conscious choice to walk towards that outrageous thing. Every step you take towards that outrageous thing is conditioning your brain to know that you can have outrageous things and
Right.
you can experience them and they are safe for you to have. So I want you to pick 3 things that feel outrageous for you today. And I want you to pick one thing that you're going to walk towards, right? One thing that you're going to walk towards to actually begin to receive those outrageous expectations that you have.
Love it.
All right, so this was our episode for y'all on outrageous expectations. Remember, as always, if you haven't followed us on social media, you can definitely connect with me at Calvalyn, Calvalyn, on Instagram, on TikTok. I think it's Calvalyn Day on TikTok. but ain't nobody else on the
When
Calvalyn
they
gonna do.
type in your first name, they're gonna find you.
It'll come up. Liz is at Loving Life with Liz on the social platforms. Make sure that you are following her there. Tag us in things that you want us to hear, see, talk about on the podcast. And definitely, if you're making a video about your 3 outrageous things, tag us. We
We
want to see.
wanna know. We wanna
We
cheer for
want to
you.
know.
Let us know.
We want to know because we want y'all to have an outrageous expectation for a life that you love. And we just believe it's possible for you. So we want to see it. We will see y'all next time. We will hope y'all hear us the next time. See us next time on either the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. But also, you want to see us on YouTube because the shenanigans is even better when you get to see the whole
Shenanigans,
thing.
running shenanigans.